Welcome everyone to our first video of a new Platinum Chase series on the channel. It's our first video, so we're trying out things here, and we'll probably find some more balance between all the elements as we make more videos like this. We won't be spoiling big moments on this one or going over the story too much. We're just going to go with the flow of how we did our playthrough and how we did some of the more challenging trophies. So really, don't hesitate to leave your comments on improvements you want to see in the series. More recap of the story, more tips, guides to achieve the Platinum, or more in-depth review of the game and Platinum Chase. Whatever you can think of, just leave your opinion down below, we can't wait to read them. Now that is out of the way, as usual, all the timestamps and the description down below, if you want to jump into any section. So here we go. The Spider-Man Remastered Platinum was a gem from start to finish. No doubt about it. And it's no wonder so many people recommend it. The Platinum has 50 trophies to it. 38 bronze, 10 silver, and 2 gold. But with the remastered version, we did in more of them to 100% again. We'll have 5 more silver challenge trophies to get, and 2 new them plus 1 by doing a second playthrough and doing 1 on ultimate difficulty. We also have 3 DLC storyline with 7 trophies each, 5 bronze, a silver, and a gold. It took me roughly 56 hours to complete it all in a chill way, without rushing anything. And I would rate the difficulty of the Platinum a 2.5 out of 10 if you want to 100% it. Mainly due to the New Game Plus at ultimate difficulty that, even if it's not too hard, can be unforgiving sometimes. Some of the collectibles may be a bit grindy if you keep them all for last, and completing all the crimes in all districts is quite the task too. But that's still fun to do, so you don't feel you're really grinding. So as you can see, we have quite a bit on our plate with this one. The game starts you up, waking up as Peter Parker, suiting up and jumping your window to swing in the streets of New York City, giving you a tutorial on the traversal mechanics of the game. You then call by Captain Yuri to go help the police, taking down some bad guys at the Fist Tower. After a cutscene, it's your time to save the day and learn some combat moves. You then enter the tower, fighting your way until you arrive face to face with the first boss fight of the game. The fight isn't too hard in itself, but can be a bit challenging if it's your first time getting used to the control and the game mechanics. Just keep at it, and don't forget that Spidey can crawl in the walls and ceiling if you're getting a bit overwhelmed with Fisk and his henchmen. Once defeated, Fisk will be arrested, and you will get your first story-related trophy, knocking down Kingpin. The story continues by introducing you to your mentor and pal, Dr. Octavius, at his lab, where you two are undertaking experiments together. In the lab, you will learn some puzzles mechanics that will be recurring throughout your playthrough. They aren't too complicated really, and you have unlimited attempts and no time constraint to complete them. And as much as some of them can be a bit of a brain teaser sometimes, they never reach a frustrating point where they are unsolvable. You then meet back with Yuri on the police station rooftop, where you're tasked to disassemble a signal tower. This minigame is pretty easy. You just need to match the wavelength and frequency of signal to reactivate it using both thumbsticks. If you're having a bit of trouble with it, just rotate one thumbstick at a time until you get a perfect match. Reactivating the tower will unlock this area on your map and also show the activities in the area. And right on cue, you will be tasked to investigate your first crime. After fighting the bad guys, you'll get your XP gain summary as well as your reward, a crime token. More on the token a bit later on, because crime doesn't wait and we have another one to solve nearby. You get your hands dirty in combat once more, to then be directed to a second surveillance tower to disassemble. Once done, the tower will pick up the RFID signal of the first collectible that we need to investigate. And it turns out that is one of Peter's old backpacks. There are 55 of them, all unique and some kind of Easter egg with some backstory attached to them, and finding them will give you a backpack token. You can see them appearing on the map at that point, but until you disassemble a tower nearby, you won't know precisely where they are. Right after that, you will have another crime to take care of, and the last signal tower in Chinatown to disassemble. Nearing the end of the tutorial part of the game, we are going back to the lab to repair our suit, and that is when we introduce the various suits, gadgets, and skills. Each suit can be bought by acquiring various tokens reward by solving crime, collecting backpacks, completing challenges, and many more that we'll discover later on. Having 2 crimes and 1 backpack token in our pockets, we are now free to get the advanced suit. Unlocking suits also unlock their individual powers that can be used in combat and stealth, for example. So the more suit you unlock, the more shows you will get. And let's be honest, you also need to unlock all of them for a trophy. And with that, you've completed the tutorial part of the game. You have now access to the 3 DLC, but suggest keeping them for once you finish the first playthrough for story continuity. Note that you can acquire tokens in those DLCs, which can help unlocking all the suits and gadgets, in addition to the DLC specific suits. This will make your life easier, as you won't have to complete every challenge in the main story with top scrolls to get all the tokens required. But more on that later. During the next couple missions, we'll introduce the gadgets menu and steal 3 before getting in the thick of it by clearing a fixed construction site. It's basically an open area with waves of bad guys coming at you. They all have specific bonus objectives in stealth or combat that will give you even more base tokens if completed. Once done, Yuri will reveal the locations of the other hideouts on your map. You can revisit each of them once you have more skill and gadgets to complete them all and make the whole thing easier on yourself. Pete will then give you an excuse to take a photo of a landmark to help recalibrate his mapping software and starting another collectible. All you need to do is equip your camera and take a photo of the landmark to gain a landmark token. And with that, your map will be filled with the location of all photo opportunities. They aren't that hard really, as it doesn't need to be a nice photo. As long as the subject is in frame, the only tricky ones are the ones further on the island. But placing yourself on the edge of a building along the river will make it easy to snap them. And that's where we set ourselves to do the whole playthrough, completing the collectibles and side quests as they appear to mix up with the story, and then some leveling up skill points and tokens to upgrade our suits and gadgets. And with that, we cover the main mechanics of the game and decide to do some free roam stuff. We did our second trophy, Lost and Found, for finding 5 backpacks. Then we unscrambled the last tower to gain the Amazing Coverage trophy, and reveal the whole map. We also get the trophy Wing It for traversing across the rooftops. And finally, we did the last backpack for the Backpacker trophy. Taking the photo of the last landmark gives us the Sightseeing trophy and the token associated with it. We have now enough tokens to unlock some suits, and trying 5 of them also grants us the Snappy Dresser trophy. After some more story missions and side missions, we unlock our second gameplay trophy, King of Swing, for completing a level 1 traversal benchmark. Our next gameplay trophies pops in while clearing some fixed hideouts. The first one, Spider Sensible, is then after performing 10 perfect dodge in combat. And Stay Down trophy appears after completing a level 1 combat benchmark. By completing all the objectives of that base, we also get the Ace of Base trophy. After clearing all the fixed hideouts, we finally get the All the Kingsmen trophy. During this time, we also get the gameplay trophy Born to Ride for fast traveling 5 times. At this point, we decide to upgrade some of our gadgets and suit before continuing on with the story missions, and we unlock the scientific methods for crafting our first upgrade. Easy peasy. Once we're ready, we answer to a bank robbery call. And surprise surprise, who's there to welcome us? Shaka. This boss fight isn't too hard. It involves a lot of dodging and staying out of harm on walls and ceilings. But once defeated, you will get your second story trophy, Shock and Awe. Continuing on the main mission, we're investigating some warehouses at the docks and stealthily taking down enemies to stay incognito. In the process, we unlock the Arachnophobia trophy for performing 75 stealth takedowns. Completing bases and crimes help getting this one, as it's pretty easy and takedowns are useful to weed out some enemies, sit them to the wall or hang them from the ceiling before engaging in combat. Not long after, we get in a recorded message from Black Cat, She's sending us on a wild goose chase around the city to find some cats she left at various locations. To find those small cats can be a bit tricky sometimes, but take your time. Pan around and they will shine when they are in your viewfinder, and your controller will vibrate. You can then zoom in and snap a photo. If you see a black cat graffiti on a wall, you can zoom into that area too. The cats are generally not too far from it. Once you collected the first one, you will get the trophy, Cats Out of the Bag. And after dating all of them, you will be directed to the Cat's Cradle, Black Cat Hideout, where you can collect the dark suit for yourself and unlock the Cat Prince trophy. We then continue on with some story mission, and we're back on the scientific grind with Doc Ock at his lab, until Norman Osborn, the mayor, comes to pay us a visit. After some chit-chat and reminiscing about Harry, a new strand of somewhat collectible or challenges are unlocked. Harry left some research stations unattended all over the city, each with its own environmental research, and he tasked us to watch over them. Those are interesting to do. They can be time-consuming a bit, but they are easy enough, and they become fast travel points once completed, which is a nice perk. The only one to pay attention to is the lab in Harlem, called Shaking Harlem, that requires the skill Ground Strike, so make sure you unlocked it by then. If not, solving some crime or doing some side mission until you level up enough is a good idea. Once they're all completed, you will unlock the final lab mission, which will have you swing around the city to align some signal dishes to create a network between all the research stations. Easy enough until you realize you can easily be hit by lightning, so you'll have to move fast and avoid staying put for too long. Once done, you will get the R&D trophy, which is only a bronze surprisingly. We then tackle a new side mission and help a fellow neighbor, Howard, with retrieving his pigeons. This is also a kind of collectible strand that you can do whenever you want once you started it. Catching those pesky pigeons can be tricky at first, as they are fast and turn around quite quickly. But after 1 or 2 tries, you can figure out easily their pattern and predict where to go to catch them. Once you capture all of the 12 birds, you will get the Pigeon Hunter trophy. Later on, we introduce to our third playable character, Miles Morales, that will incidentally get his own DLC, but more on that in his own video. Like with MJ, playing with Miles is all about stealth at that stage, snitching around without being seen. And with that story mission finished, we completed Act 1 and received the story-related trophy, Demons Emerge. Starting the second act, we then directed to another warehouse controlled by the Demons Gang, mask-wearing thugs with some weird powers. We take them all down and discover that they have multiple warehouses around the city for us to clean up. It's the same principle as the Fist hideouts, and will reward you with a base token on completion and for bonus challenges. After clearing them all, we get another silver trophy, Inner Sanctuary. We also introduced a new set of challenges with Taskmaster, who put recon points all around the city. Those are mainly stealth, combat, and traversing challenges, rewarding you with specific tokens depending on the rank obtained for each. From there, you can tackle them whenever you want, and redo them to get higher score and more tokens obviously. But we put those on the back burner for now until we level up a bit more. At this point in the story, you will also be able to conclude the Tombstone side quest with the final boss battle. Nothing too hard here really, but you do get a trophy for completing it, Tombstone Takedown. One of the other side quests you can complete is the Corrupt Students one. This one can be a bit of a pain, as you're only given a photo or a clue to find the missing student location. So we will show them to you quickly here. For collect bodies, you will need to head south, around that location on the map. For the second leg, called TikTok, you will have to go northeast in Harlem, at the train station right over there. For the third part, called Over His Head, head west to the Upper West Side Park. The fourth one will be in the Financial District, in the southeastern part of the map at the Brooklyn Bridge. And finally, the last location for the home team advantage is in Washington Square Park, just behind it. After some punching around, you will get the silver trophy called Schooled for completing all the corrupt student missions. We have one side mission left on our to-do list, called Error File Not Found, and it's an easy enough one. No wild goose chase around the map or anything, just some good old fighting. And when everyone is not done, or in handcuffs, we get a trophy for being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. After all of that, it's time to tackle some main mission, to get some story progress. We take care of some crimes around the city too and goof around. Doing so, we get the trophy Sticky and Tricky for chaining 4 unique treats before landing. Easy peasy. We also tinker with our gadgets and get the trophy Science for the Win for crafting 15 upgrades. Out of the frying pan is our next story mission, where prison break is happening and all hell breaks loose. We help the police as much as possible, but chaos ensues. We soon learn that not only the street thugs have been freed, but also some very bad guys. It's a mess, but we get a trophy for it called the Seats Assemble. And this will complete the second act. The third act starts and New York City is in chaos. We talk to Yuri and she informs us that Sable, a private militia, established some outposts throughout the city, following the mayor's order and are acting like tyrants. The escaped prisoner also took possession of buildings and made camps throughout the city. So like with the Fist Towers and Demon's Warehouse, we need to shut them all down to get base tokens and complete the bonus challenges for more of them. So let's go to work, shall we? In the midst of clearing them, we get the Neighborhood Watch for completing all faction crimes in a district. Subsequently, we get a Back in the Slammer for taking down each prisoner camp, as well as Mercenary Tactics for taking down each Sable outpost. At that point, we decide to take on those Taskmaster challenge and collect all the trophies associated with them. The first one we get, Fist of Fury, for getting spectacular or better in a combat challenge. Then we acquire Ninja, for getting spectacular or better in a stealth challenge. We go and get the Spy Hunter trophy, for getting spectacular or better in a drone challenge. And finally, Short Fuse, for getting spectacular or better in a bomb challenge. And once we finish all of the challenges, at least once, we are rewarded with the Challenge Finder trophy. You may think we're done at that point, but no. We now need to defeat Taskmaster in a one-on-one fight. He knows our moves, and it's quite hard to hit. Use all your gadgets to neutralize him. And once you're done, you will get the silver trophy, Master of Masters. We then decide to clean up every district, meaning finishing all the crimes. Doing so, we get the Overdrive trophy for doing 10 vehicles step down, and we get enough XP to reach max level and unlock all the skill for the Road trophy, Superior Spider-Man. Once the city is clear and we 100% all district, we get the High Heart Manhattan Gold trophy. With all that behind us, we're now ready to tackle the Sinister Six of this game and send them back to prison where they belong. The first round will be against Electro and Vulture in an epic aerial battle for the Grounded trophy. The second round, we tackle Scorpion and Rhino for the Sting and Smash trophy. We then showdown with Lee in a boss fight for the Stain Positive trophy. All that is left now is the final boss battle. This is a big one, so Peter decides that a new suit is in order. After crafting it at the lab, we're ready to take on Doc Ock. It's an epic battle, and an emotional one for Peter. After Doc is put away, we enter the final cutscenes and the end credits. Once they're rolled off, we get our final story-related trophy, Endgame, for completing Act 3. From there, we're back in the city, and it's time to get the last trophies we haven't got in our collection, mainly some miscellaneous and gameplay ones. We get Spider-Man about town for walking around and greeting 10 fellow citizens. We then go to the lab and finish all the project minigame and get the trophy A Bit of a Fixer-Upper. We then reach the top of the Avengers Tower for Hero for Hire trophy. We also need to go back to a prison camp and use our trip mines to knock together 10 pairs of enemies for the Heist Trophy. And after all those adventures, we go far north in the cemetery and pay our respects at Uncle Ben's grave for the With Great Power Trophy. We thought it was our last trophy, to be honest, but turns out we didn't unlock all the suits. So hands down, we did the Silver Trophy, a suit for all seasons, and with that, the Platinum beat Reda. Before tackling the DLCs, we decided to knock out the 5 Remastered Trophies. So many hits, we'll have you get a combo of 100. If you find this one challenging, just change the difficulty of your game and put on the perk Biomesh. That will absorb some damage without resetting the combo counter. That will make getting this one really easy. The Untouchable Spider-Man will have you complete an enemy base without taking damage. I chose a prison camp as they are easier in my opinion. Taking out the first enemy stealthily as much as possible and then using your gadget to crowd control them is a must. Be patient and don't rush anything. Avoid the rockets and let the enemies come to you from far away. And you will get this one in no time. Master's Education will have you achieve Ultimate in one Taskmaster challenge. Just find one you find easy for yourself and have a good go at it really. Full Arsenal will have you max out all gadgets. If you don't have enough tokens, just play through the DLCs. They will give you more base and challenge tokens if you need them. And finally, grinding all the way will pop when you will max out a benchmark type. If this one hasn't popped already, just try to find one that is achievable and easy, like wall running for example. The main story and remastered done, we can now tackle the 3 DLCs. They all have their own unique storyline and are quite enjoyable to complete. They follow the same formula and aren't too challenging trophy-wise once you went through the main story. The first one, called The Heist, is led by Black Cat and has a wild story between her and Peter that is quite funny to see unfold. Completing the first story mission, called Maria, will give you the Cat Came Back trophy. Followed by Hey Kitty Kitty for completing the Black Cat Chase, and by Felicia by completing Follow the Money mission. The side mission, Like a Fiddle, will award you the Long Crown Trophy, and it's quite interesting story-wise too. When you complete all the crimes in the district, and there aren't too many to complete, don't worry, you will get the Disorganized Crime Trophy. The Silver Trophy's crew is then after getting spectacular or better in one of Screwball Challenge. They work the same way as the Taskmaster Challenge from the main story, but with some various twists. Finishing all the challenges and getting 100% to all district and story will give you the Gold Trophy, seduced by the city. The second DLC is called Turf Wars, and in this one you partner up again with Yuri to take down Hammerhead. You will get the Pulling the Trigger trophy for completing the blindsided mission, crossing the Thin Blue Line after the lockup mission, and Steel Skull Glass Jaw for completing Bring the Hammer Down. When you complete all the crimes in one district, you will get the Gang War trophy. And taking down all Hammerhead front that act like bases, you will get the Prohibition trophy. Turning the Screw is a silver trophy you can get for getting spectacular or higher in a Screwball challenge. And finally, the Gold trophy, The City is My Family, for 100% completion of this DLC. The third and final DLC is called Silver Lining, and this time you team up with Silver Sable to try to take down Hammerhead once again. You will get 2 main storyline trophies, Frenemies, after completing the Old Friends mission, and Terminated after the 1+1=win mission. For completing the side mission Aiding a Human, which is a story supplement to the main storyline, you will get the Wages of War trophy. In this DLC, you will also have some collectibles under the mission Scales of Justice that will award you the Unacceptable trophy and give you more story about you. And this would not be a DLC without some Screwball challenges. And once again, you will need to get Spectacular or higher in one of them for the Screwball Trophy. You will also have the chance to chase Screwball, and catching her will give you the Unplugged Trophy after putting an end to her shenanigans. Then all that is left is some cleanup of the district on the map to obtain 100% completion and the City Slips Gold Trophy. With the 3 DLCs down, all that is left for us is the New Game Plus on Ultimate difficulty. You only need to replay the main story for this one. And doing it now with all the skills, suits and gadgets upgraded should make it easier. The Ultimate difficulty at this stage doesn't change things too much gameplay wise. It affects mainly your health. You will take way less hits before dying, so you just need to be a bit more methodological in your approach and use stealth as much as you can. And after powering through the main campaign again, we finally get our 2 last trophies. One More Time and Power and Responsibility. All in all, getting 100% for Spider-Man Remastered was great. The story and gameplay are well balanced. Yes, you have some challenging trophies, but nothing that pushes you to extreme frustration. The grinded collectibles don't overstay their welcome, and Peter always have an insight on them or some Easter egg. Things that make them more unique and sometimes tying up with a story mission. I'm generally not a fan of New Game Plus though, nor some trophy associated with highest difficulty, especially if it doesn't bring anything new to the experience really. But that being said, I didn't mind this one, because I honestly enjoyed the game and the story. Thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for the next Platinum Trophy video, which is not too hard to predict. So until next time, see ya!